Let's give, God damn it, let's give a payment of respect for the important people, the men that worked tooth and nail, hard work, long hours, years, had 10 years in the WWE. Kurt Angle and Rusev, goodbye. Everybody else can suck a huge dick. I'm joking. I'm joking about that, but seriously though, we have huge news involving, of course, the multiple releases in total of 18 employees from the WWE, especially wrestlers with a tenure, backstage, backstage creative, backstage employees, on-screen talent, and of course wrestlers, especially a few of them becoming that were world champions or former champions in their own right. We're not including, of course, the recent release last year because they asked for it for the last couple months, and that was a revival. They're currently gone. Kurt Angle, Kurt Angle, Drake Maverick, Rusev, Aiden English, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Eric Young, EC3, Kurt Hawkins, Leo Rush, Zack Ryder, Heath Slater, Sarah Logan, Mike Chioda, longtime referee for the business. I have seen him in multiple world title matches where he refereed. Primo Epico, Eric Rowan, because somehow having him have a win, like a winning streak until Aleister Black beat him several times and then Roman Reigns smashed his little bug. They obviously, I think Vince kind of used up Rowan as much as he can. Mike and Maria Kanellis. No way, Jose. He's been a jobber. I think that was one of the smarter releases for Vince, even though how rough it is. And even if he had his own fans and nobody would care about him, he's still an employee. These guys are like losing their jobs, obviously, because of the huge issue that we're having around the world at this time. You know, that's a bit of a reality check, but you understand how it is in the world. So obviously, hopefully, most of these guys find jobs. Mostly, hopefully, it was a shocker one. I thought Heath Slater was going to stay because he's a he has lost popularity. He hasn't been threatening since 2016, back when he tagged with Rhino and he got the "I Got Kids" thing. And then as soon as Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of him, he lost popularity. We had Sarah Logan that's been in the Job Squad. I mean Riot Squad. We had Aiden English that was over. He had a promising tag team with Simon Gotch. Now he's all the way in MLW. The dude is nowhere to be found. Nobody cares. I thought the Vaudevillains was a average, mediocre gimmick tag team, and then the Enzo mistake happened. The backstage obviously did not like Simon Gotch. Then they made Aiden English do the Rusev Day shit, and that got him over. And he's been terrible ever since being on commentary. The Colognes shouldn't be there. I'm shocked Leo Rush was gone because I thought he was going to be a promising mouthpiece. And there has barely been a boring part of Leo Rush. Probably he wasn't liked backstage as well. Kurt Hawkins, shocked. Tenure in the company as well. Zack Ryder. And Zack Ryder had a more accomplished career than the majority of the guys that's been released. Especially Rusev and especially Leo Rush. Eric Young, I think he was used as a backstage guy after like being complete jobbed out from the mid card up, and he has never built up any type of momentum since. So it was understandable how he would be released, but it's kind of dumb. Until then, to just get rid of all these guys that were like promising signings since 2016 and over. Most of these guys have been 2016 signings or over or from TNA or Japan, like Luke Gallows, Eric Young, and EC3. Most of the guys that they signed were world champions in their own respective, like TNA. I'm gonna admit it, it's just TNA. Do I feel like it was WWE time to do spring cleaning? They don't need that majority in the payroll when they can't allow that many guys in the building. That's a smart thing for WWE to do. Do I think it sucks that most of these guys lose their job? Absolutely. I think it was a rough decision, and I know for Vince it was a tough decision to make because they have so much great talent in the roster. But if you guys watch how they were on TV, you think it would be about damn time they did something like get rid of like Sarah Logan. She hasn't been anything for the company. EC3, he hasn't been threat since like he hasn't been important since like the time he was in Moment of Bliss. and then got an interview, then got in a bit of a 50-50 booking feud with Dean Ambrose, and that went nowhere. The OC's Gallows and Anderson, that had to be rough for AJ Styles to lose his guys that he known since Japan and built quite a relationship with, that he made his own faction. Now I understand, like, it's AJ Styles, it's relevant, nothing would really change. It would be like, oh, what's scary, the OC, AJ Styles, what's important, AJ Styles, no one cares. But still, like, for both Gallows and Anderson, I don't know what would be their thing. It would be probably All Elite Wrestling, thinks they have you know, quite a relationship with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. And connections get you somewhere in the wrestling business. Whoever tells you otherwise is an idiot. But by God, I don't care. I'm not saying that AEW is all the safe haven. For all I know, fucking the revival will go to freaking Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor needs new talent as much as possible. So I would just say, try it. For most of these guys, I hope most of these guys get signed back, especially nobody. I felt like nobody had a promising giveaway, and most of these guys were signed because of the relationships they had in the business, or they just built up traction because of the indie scene. And like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, they weren't much until AJ Styles was involved in the package deal. So if you get AJ Styles and you bring up a few of his friends, I think you'll allow anything to go through. Drake Maverick, I thought he had something going when he won the 24/7 title. Uh, and he was doing this thing with trying to consummate the marriage with his wife while holding on to the 24/7 title. And it's like, at least it made anybody that's trying to get the box and they're nearly successful in doing it. I'll always support that. And if that's a clear way to get TV on, I guess watch it. Other than that, he did nothing afterwards. We forgot that he was the GM of 205 Live for a while. Then we have, of course, Rusev. That is one of the most toughest releases ever. The guy came from headlining WrestleMania, having one of the greatest entrances of all time, having a big feud with John Cena, and then after that, he plummeted so damn hard that you made his wife get taken away from a black guy. That's Bobby Lashley. And he has done nothing ever since. He's been sitting out of TV for the last several months. He hasn't been seen since February, or like March, like early March, and then they let him go this week. So it's like several freaking releases. And we have former Monday Night Raw GM, of course, Kurt Angle. And I have to say, I'm shocked Jason Jordan doesn't let go, but look at the kid. The guy is built up as it is. All he does is just have a weird face. He just looks like a Negro maven. I don't know where I was going with that. I just wanted to make fun of Maven. Other than that, it was tough. I thought Kurt Angle would be more of a backstage figure, especially with his experience he had in the business and how many guys he can get over. He even got Drew McIntyre over back in TNA, and he has a good reputation around the wrestling business, other than some outside shit. But other than that, I feel like he shouldn't have been let go, and that's the roughest decision probably for anybody to make. Sorry, that was my phone. But other than that, these are the releases that happened over the week. My God! And just in a conference call, I mean, there's been pink slips and envelopes and shit. Like, you'll get fired on the dot. I mean, Vince didn't. And Seth Rollins like, I'm safe. I'm safe. I sent another dick pic to Vince so he makes sure not to fire me. Because he salivates on midgets now. We're still big dudes. I mean, it's still... Um, I mean, the roster that they have right now is not the move. I feel like they're missing out on a lot of great talent, and especially on the storytelling aspect, that really plays a part in how you guys can actually make a good commodity out of the talent you have. So, yeah, do I feel like some of these releases were smart? It's a few. Did I feel like Rusev needed to be let go? Yes. That sounds harsh to say. I love Rusev, but seeing how his career been dialing down so far, if they don't want him to be a main event, if they don't want him to bring him screen time, if he's obviously losing all the time, and he's been in a multi-month feud that didn't make anybody look important, then what's the point of having him on television then? And seeing how Vince had to do the spring cleaning, especially to save his ass after filing for bankruptcy from the XFL, I can understand why. That's like AAF territory, and the AAF was close to a postseason. Then XFL couldn't even make it near halfway through the season without a freaking global virus, like shuffling up all production and jobs all over the freaking globe. At least some countries are slowing down the process of the virus. Thank goodness. I hope everybody's doing well. Over that, that's it coming from me. Hopefully you guys liked this update, because this is rough. I hate hearing people losing their jobs, bro. And for me that have a job currently to this day, that's rough. That's rough, dog. There's worse quit. There's a better time quitting, because at least it looks like you have another plan other than the job you have, to getting fired out of nowhere in this circumstance that you really need this job. So that's it coming from me. This DST show. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to hear from me again.